Hey, everybody. Welcome to the call. Let's get situated. Come on in, say hello if you can hear me and see me. And we are live here, getting the recording started, getting everybody going. I've got my machine kind of running over here. There we go. All right. So we're going to get started here in just a minute. I want to say hello to everybody. If you can hear me, give me a chat. Let me know if we're coming in loud and clear for everybody out there. Let me get the screen set up here so I can see when you guys start chatting with me. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. We're getting going today. It seems a little dark in my room today for some reason. Might have to play with the lights a little bit. Coming in great. Hi, Richard. Hi, Talar. Hello, hello. We're going to be off and going. I've got a lot of stuff to talk about since it's 8:01 on the hour. We always manage to go through this really fast as you guys get going. We will probably move pretty quick. Hey, Ed from Winnipeg. Good to see you again. Frederick, welcome to the call. Hello, hello. Ed and I tried to have a conversation today on Zoom, and it didn't help at all. In fact, it didn't work. So we had to switch to phone, and I just got a message from Zoom earlier saying that broadcast attendees and stuff right now, due to bandwidth issues, will probably not see this video in HD. So there you go. A lot of bandwidth usage right now. Zoom is having a lot of trouble. We're going to talk about that and some other things, I'm sure, today. All right, everybody's chiming in. Looks like a few people, looks like a third of the people who normally show up. So let's give a few more minutes here. And why don't you guys tell me what you've been up to while we're waiting for everybody else to join before we get officially started. Looks like there's some late. What have you guys been up to? What's happening in your world? Have you been hanging out at home like you're supposed to? Have you been out playing? Have you been naughty? Have you guys been out doing naughty things outside the house that you're not supposed to be doing during this lockdown? What have you guys been up to? You got your coffee? You got your drinks too? Everybody situated? Got something good to drink? In fact, this is one of my kids' cups. It's the fastest one I could find that wouldn't make my coffee go cold. Those things work really great. Nobody's in a chatty mood tonight, huh? You guys are pretty quiet. Watching the snow fall. Cool. It was snowing earlier. I guess you're going to be getting some more snow where you are. Well, for those of you who are brand new, I do see some new names. Welcome to the call. Good evening. My name is Neil Twa, and I am the CEO of ASINinspector.com, ASIN360, Voltage Holdings, which is our voltage digital growth company for Amazon growth. We run a number of different properties and brands. Amazon businesses and digital marketing are a big component of what we do, along with coaching and training for both the software, as I'm doing tonight, and for our ASIN360 customers, clients, attendees, program people. I don't know even what they're called, all those people. They're just good people. So we're having a lot of fun with Amazon these days, aren't we? Many of you who might be joining, who I recognize a few names that are not usually on my calls on Thursday nights. I see quite a few familiar faces here. We're always talking about product research. We're talking about product in the market, researching in the market, what to look for, why certain products over another. We always go over competition and saturation. This is not a technical call. We're not going to get into, how do I optimize my listing kinds of stuff. We do talk about business as it applies to Amazon, as it applies to the e-commerce business world. We'll talk about that. A lot of times topics can go on tangents just depending upon where the conversation goes. So if you have questions, that's part of what's here. What this call, for those of you who are new tonight, is not about is technical support questions about the tool, the software, that kind of stuff. This is about training. It's about education, about knowledge, about sharing some experience with those who show up, giving you some insights from the front lines of running really large Amazon companies. And what does it look like for us? Where are we going? What's happening? We give some input. I like to tell you kind of where we're driving our business, and you guys can kind of see how that applies to your business and where you are, where you're selling. We do talk about different seller methodologies, but just to be very clear, I never go deep into anything but private label FBA. For those, again, who are brand new, Fulfilled by Amazon, or FBA, is our preferred method of selling. It is our preferred method of scaling. It's our preferred method of building businesses that last years and years and years, that grow organically, have wonderful economies of scale and very great profits when done correctly. We don't go do retail arbitrage, and we used to do wholesale on scale, literally 30,000 foot warehouse and 10 employees and a whole operation that we shut down simply because it was not really scalable to the degree we might have considered it being. It was so much work. and it just ended up not being more profitable than the stores that we were still running in the background. It's one of those things you have too much time on your hand and we're like, hey, let's try this. We got a lot of time. The other thing, business is doing great in the other ways. Let's go try this. And a few $100,000, $500,000 later, it didn't work. Shut it down. So we went to scale. So for those of you who are trying retail, wholesale, online arbitrage, these kinds of things with the tool, or that's how you learn to do selling in Amazon, and that's why you're here. You're maybe wanting to find some additional products. You want to understand maybe how to research products like that. I'm not going to really teach you a lot of those things because I've learned that lesson. We learned it as a company. We learned a very painful lesson that way. And I will just ask you to not go that direction on scale because it's not going to grow for you, not the way you think it's going to grow. One of the things we love to get into here, and we'll do some of that tonight, I'm sure, is always ask questions about what people are searching for, what they're researching. This is your chance to get my take on the market. We do a macro and micro dive of the product niche. If you got something you're thinking about, if you may be pulling the trigger on some products in a particular area and you might want some input on those products and you want to know, is this something I should be selling or whatnot? I can give you some opinion on that. Of course, take that with a grain of salt. And any product we research tonight and any market we go into tonight is not guaranteed to be successful. If you take any of this data from these calls and you go to apply it, please note you are doing that with your own due diligence. I cannot guarantee anything about the products we look at or the markets we analyze. I can tell you what I think, but until you source the products and sell the products, you will not actually be able to validate the market. So if we pick a product tonight or we go deep into products like we've done in previous videos and you have not watched any of those other previous videos in the Academy, I would encourage you to go back and check those out. It's very important that you do watch those additional videos because we continue to make sure we be realistic about business, about the market, about what we're doing, about the experience we've had, about the experience that our clients and customers have had, because we do have small and large customers. We've got a very interesting deal on the table for a very large vet clinic that if it does come to fruition, there's about 125 local vet clinics that would be building a brand if that works. So we'll see. We're on the initial stages of that conversation. Looks fascinating. But there's a lot of opportunity in the market. I think one of the things I want to make sure that we hammer down from the very beginning today, before we dive into any business conversation, is where we are today. We know at the time that this is being shot for 2nd of April, as it stands today, we are in sort of a new market economy. Not one that we didn't, we're not really surprised about to a degree. I think we're surprised. Some of us are surprised to the depth at which it's currently reached out into our economy. Some of you might be surprised too by how far it's stretched or what we're looking at right now. But make no mistake, guys, this is a very good friend of mine said this the other day. His name's Justin Brook. Very, very insightful, very smart man. The money hasn't gone away. It's just shifted, right? Like the money hasn't disappeared. It's just moved. It's moved away from places it was before. It's moved into different areas of the market. It's shifted its position. It's shifted its target, its intent, its application for business. It's shifted. Like it hasn't disappeared. So the scarcity mindset, the mindset that is limited in its belief system, will say the money's gone. There's no more money. Woe is me, and there's no more opportunity. A mindset of abundance, a mindset that believes that there is more out there, that we can do more for others than we do for ourselves, is a mindset of abundance that realizes that money just shifted opportunities and we should be following it. We should be thinking forward. We should be looking to see where it is and where we can take it and where we should be going to find it, because there's going to be some new trends. There's going to be some new market opportunities. If you guys haven't been paying attention, here's one example. We homeschool. We've done it for 8 years for our life. And means homeschooling was a natural part of what we do every day, week and month. And so when this has changed a lot of people's lives, it's pretty much the same for us. But some of the areas we've seen really differentiate people in the market right now in terms of life and opportunity is, a whole homeschool, at home, business equipment, office equipment, school supplies for home situations versus public school situations is a market opportunity. And one, quite frankly, if you just think about it logically and you think about the shift and the fact that we're still seeing schools being, let out and being stuck here in America down till, June in some cases right now as predictions, at least until May, which means some of the instances in some places the schools will simply not go back into session. Parents are really like, hey, we got to get this thing figured out. We got to buy some school supplies. Well, guess what part of the market is going up incredibly fast, right? The homeschool market, for one, stay-at-home education and the supplies that are there, survival and the health niches in that way, food preparation, thinking about storage and storage of products, storage of stuff in my house. People haven't really thought that through, and so now they're buying a lot of that stuff. So if you just kind of shift your mindset for a minute and you start to look at where we are and where we're going to potentially be, and you realize how long it's going to take for us to kind of get through some of these things, there are going to be new opportunities that are presenting themselves in that way. And so, guys, I want you really to think about that, right? So as that economy is changing, as that market's shifting, as that money is moving, not going away, what are some product opportunities we could be researching tonight? What are some angles we can be taking? What are you thinking about as you look forward in opportunity when the economy shifts back into gear in terms of a workforce, which it will, and when it starts to move its opportunities for product and products branding and forward, where is it going to go? Where is it going to be? Where should you be is the best question to ask. So if y'all are still with me, give me a 1 in the chat channel. If you're following along, you understand what I'm saying, and some of this is resonating with you. This is what I want to make sure we talk about tonight, because we are sitting in the driver's seat of opportunity. So give me a 1 if we're following along, right? What I want to make sure we understand is, every week this is changing, but every week you go another week waiting to do something is a week you've lost. It's a week someone else has taken advantage. It's another 7 days someone else has moved in the market and taken maybe risk you didn't, or moved on something you were waiting to see out of fear or whatever the case may be that's holding you back. It's not always financial, folks, because financial opportunities are presenting themselves everywhere, like all the time, like all over the place, right? This opportunity right now for the U.S. government stimulus package is opening all kinds of business opportunities in terms of financing, in terms of potentially even grants for businesses or individuals that may even be forgiven, literally. Loans that for money up to $10 million, you don't have to repay for up to 10 years and have a 0.5% interest rate. That is unheard of, guys. Some of that might apply to you. We're researching and doing diligence, not necessarily for our business, but for our ASIN 360 customers who might be able to, those clients and students might be able to take advantage of some of that. And we're doing some diligence right there to determine where that opportunity might or might not present itself. But guys, again, the money hasn't gone away, it hasn't shifted. So I want you to be thinking about that. Why? Because as you've heard me before, as you will hear me again say this, we are not going to step over dollars to pick up pennies, right? We're not going to be desperate. We're going to operate in abundance and mindset. We're not going to operate in scarcity, which means we're going to see things that others won't. We're going to see opportunities that others are not willing to see. We're going to see white cars of opportunities, as we like to talk about in our trainings and when we talk to people in this way, to help them understand that those are everywhere, okay? So let's talk about some of the things with Amazon right now that are just most prevalent, and let's catch up on some of this for you guys who might be wondering where Amazon currently is. Amazon itself in the marketplace, let's go over here. I'm going to share this screen. Let me know when you guys see. Okay, hold on. Let me make sure I'm sharing the right picking screen. Okay, I'm sharing desktop 1. There we go. All right, so just out of literally clicking on it a minute ago, Amazon, for example, is talking about their delays, right? Order delays, delivery delays. Some of you in the FBA sphere or putting products into supply chain, sourcing and stuff right now may be affected by this. So I kind of wanted to bring it to your attention. Statuses of orders, why some prime and non-prime items are taking longer. Definitely encourage you who are selling in any capacity to come up here and click this button and just get an eye full of what's happening here, so you have the latest, okay, on what's going on. There's a blog response here. You should definitely read that. You guys should be doing this kind of due diligence on your own as a natural part of the business, okay? You should be looking and determining, how is it going to affect me? How is Amazon's playing with Amazon going to affect my business? What do they consider to be, price gouging? You might be thinking, well, I'm just fair market value for my product. Well, better read that policy, because Amazon might disagree with you. And to stay in line with the policy is to stay in line with Amazon. Therefore, we can't come back and say, well, we didn't know if they were to do something to our account. That's ignorance. We're not going to act that way, right? So Amazon's keeping its customers and employees safe. Absolutely. Delivery for fresh products, if you've got any of those moving, contract delivery with the drivers, availability. So definitely come take a look at this. They're even talking about bulky and large items, right? pausing, in-home and delivery services, right? I even missed this one. Out of abundance of caution, we are also pausing in-home delivery and services until further notice. Cool. I just talked to a guy about that today who has an at-home services opportunity for his business. And I said, hey, you need to go check that out. It looks like he's not going to be able to do that right now. That's very unfortunate for the time being. I just sent him down a rabbit hole. Oops. Well, he'll figure it out. So guys, definitely take a look at this. Make sure you are paying attention to these, read up on them, and know your opportunities, know your boundaries inside of the system. We can't play ignorant, right? Oh, I didn't know that was in the TOS, or, oh, I didn't know they weren't allowing, in-home service deliveries. We need to kind of make sure we're staying on top of that. So from a, product research perspective, let's kind of switch gears to that for a little bit, because that's one of the things we love to do on this call. It's also one of the things that most people ask for when we poll and we come on these kind of calls. What is your number one concern? Product research, finding good products. Again, one of the things I'm not going to do is talk about retail arbitrage and wholesaling, guys. I know that's a component of the tool. It's a component that was previously built into the software. Just know I'm going to be moving some of those features on and sunsetting some of them due to the fact that, frankly, as we have said, if you're operating in that space, I don't care what coach you've listened to. I don't care what guru is telling you that this is not a problem. It is a problem. Okay. I have no problem telling you that. That is a problem, and they're lying. The fact is, I know every time I get on these calls, I tell you about someone else I've heard whose business got shut down. If you're an FBA, if you're brand registered, if you're trademarked, you're doing fine. Your only issue right now is most likely your sales are up so far, you're running out of product faster than you can get it back in the market. But your account's not shut down, right? You aren't offline. You can't not operate your business. In some instances, if you have that capability, you should be moving into multi-channel at the moment. You should be getting your products ready for drop shipping temporarily while FBA is paused. You should be getting your store online with Shopify or somewhere else to temporarily get your orders controlled if you're having those kinds of troubles, if you're selling in the FBA side. If you're in the retail arbitrage and those other types of methodologies in the seller platform, guys, I mean, we've warned you. If you go back 6 months, we've been talking about this for a long time. The market is no longer satisfied with that. It's no longer going to work for the timelines that's required. And frankly, guys, I have story after story of people who got started and went out 3 months and found themselves in the middle of a dead end after spending 2 to 3 hours a day, 4 hours a day out running around trying to figure out how to do this arbitrage thing or even the wholesale thing, only to find out that by the time their products got sold, they weren't profitable. They got months into this. They may be making $3,000, $4,000 a month, but it was costing them $3,000, $4,000 a month. They might be taking home $1,000, but they're working 40 to 60 hour a week on top of their regular jobs trying to make it go. It's just not sustainable, folks. Fast, solid, sustainable, organic growth will come from private labeling your own brands, okay? Amazon is just a marketplace of opportunity for that. So let's get into some product research and talk about these types of products. So I'm gonna ask you guys, what kind of products are you looking at right now? Anybody wanna throw out some product ideas that we can dig into? Due to bandwidth, literally, I'm feeling a little bit like my bandwidth is not holding up here. I'm gonna pause my video. Not because I don't love having you guys stare at me, but because I'm feeling there's some latency over here and I don't want you guys to lose me. Especially when I go to screen share in a minute. So I don't want you guys to get screwed up on that. So let's get some products. What are you guys researching right now? What's your, what can we analyze live? And I'm not going to attach the product to anyone. So whatever you say, I won't obviously put your name out there. So you're not sharing anything with anyone that is going to be considered proprietary. If you guys don't come up with names, I can come up with things. Okay. So let's play with some ideas and see what we see. And I'm going to go back to my screen here. And we're going to get busy on Amazon. Yeah, let's get busy on Amazon. All right, we got some ideas coming in here. Keep them rolling, guys. We'll go through these. Okay. Don't be hanging out there in quiet time with me, guys. We'll end this call pretty fast. Let's hear what you got. Okay, we got some additional things. So just by the keywords, it's very interesting how you guys are targeting some of these keywords. And I know where you're going. We're going to break this down as we discuss it, and I can see where this is going a little. Yeah, you guys, we're still in. Here's what's interesting about your keywords, and I love this, and this is where I want to take you tonight as we keep going every night on every Thursday night live. We keep going over this. I'm going to get you guys thinking about ideas and products that aren't so mainstream, because you're still in the niches and areas. Well, actually, you're not in the niches. You're still at the department and category level with your keywords and your product suggestions just now. So this is one of the things you're going to learn about how we coach and train and bring people into a knowledge about Amazon's true scalability, longevity, and competitive nature. When you play the right way, we're going to play at the niche level, right? So when we talk about some of this, we're going to break it down. So let's just start with the first one that caught my attention here. We got barbecue, grilling. All right, so barbecue grilling tools came up with set, basket, accessories, tools, basket with handle, mitt, mesh, pans, kit, set with case. So this is obviously Amazon's auto suggestion feature. But does anybody here, because I know we have all levels of experience on these calls, does anybody know what this is? What are we looking at? So I started typing in barbecue, right? Let's just go back for a second. Barbecue. We obviously had sauce, cover, brush, grill cover, rub, lighters, long, accessories, chips, individual bags, pit, and lighter. So the word or the product angle that we were going after here was called barbecue grilling tools, right? So let's go after that, but that's kind of still a high level. What kind of barbecue grilling tool? Because barbecue grilling tools is big. So we are looking at key terms. We're looking at keywords. We're looking at Amazon's most suggested keywords for its search based on volume. All right. So when you start typing in barbecue, these are the keywords that have the most traffic behind them in terms of barbecue. They're not necessarily niche keywords or item type keywords, but they are definitely search terms. Okay, that doesn't necessarily mean they're buying terms. It just means that's what people are searching. And typically, what you're going to find a lot of times is these are not the words that people necessarily buy on. All right. So if we go to barbecue, what we don't see is grilling tools, but what we do see is a grill cover. So if we're going to go into the grill and we're looking at tools or accessories, we got a cover, we got a brush, we got a grill cover, which is more specific. We've got a rub, we've got accessories. That's very generic. Definitely going to be an info keyword, meaning they're going to be searching, not buying under that keyword. Chips, individual bags, pit, and lighter. Okay, so we definitely got a lighter. That's pretty specific. Pit, very generic. Grill cover, getting a little more specific. We got cover and grill cover. You can see the differences here. Definitely people, start with cover, but they'll, ultimately they're going to find their better products under grill cover. You guys should just take that one home too whenever you're looking to buy something. We got rub and lighter. So let's go, since we're heading towards grilling tools, let's just kind of dig into barbecue accessories. Now, I know I said this was a much higher, let's get back to the real size here so that I can make sure that I get enough data on the screen. We're looking at barbecue accessories. We got 20,000 results. All right, that's a lot of results. That doesn't necessarily mean it's all saturation, as some of you might be familiar with, but it might be competition. We can see branded headline search is up here and paid branded sponsored ads. We got sponsored ads right here and here. And then we got the portable outdoor table and storage unit. That's not really even tools, that's accessories, but what kind of accessories are we looking for? See, that's the thing is like, you've just talked this out for a second, right? We're looking for some kind of specific. Are we looking for the mat, the case? Are we looking for the handle? What is this thing? A hook, stainless steel hook. What else we got down here? This is a sauce pot. Well, that's pretty generic. So we're seeing a lot of random stuff. Here's even the chimney, rapid fire chimney starter. I used one of these today. They're fantastic. We barbecued chicken tonight, and these things were awesome. If you don't have one of those, it definitely helps your grilling. But what I'm also noticing right out of the gate, and maybe some of you too who have come along for this ride before, is not a lot of significant pricing consistency. I see 19, 32, 99. I see 19 and 14. I happen to know that in this particular niche, for example, it's very competitive and slightly saturated to the point where price becomes too big of a variable. So let's just break this down again. We're going to go back to grilling. So we were at grilling in a moment. We talked about grilling tools. So we got a tool set. We got a basket accessory. We got tools. That's kind of more generic. But if I'm looking for a tool, I'm probably looking for something specific. I'm looking for maybe a mitt or a basket. I'm looking for an actual, thermometer. I'm looking for the actual, brush, right? That I'm actually using some specific thing. I'm not necessarily looking for a grilling kit per se. although we can tell people are looking for grilling tools. So let's just head on down here and say grilling tools, was where we were originally coming back to. I just wanted you guys to analyze this with me as we talk this out. So 2,000 results, definitely not 20,000. We can see that we've come down from patio, lawn, and gardening into barbecue sets. We are looking specifically at barbecue grilling tools, but even at this particular level, are we all the way down into the niche? And I don't believe we are just yet. So we're down to grilling and barbecue utensils, which would put us closer to the actual niche. Barbecue tool sets, cloths, thermos tuners, forks, tongs. All right, so we're getting down here. Okay, look, what ended up happening right here is I got all the way down to the niche of this one. Barbecue tongs, that's the bottom of the niche. We got 606 results. Okay, so now we're getting down into very specific. All right, we are at outdoor cooking, we're at patio, lawn, and gardening. We're at department, we're at category, we're at subcategory. We went down into, we were down into the niche, and now we're down into a node called barbecue tongs. So this is where things get a little bit more interesting. Tongs for 23, tongs for 22, tongs for 25. I do notice that just by experience, as I explain this to you, there is competition here. Sponsored ads are up here at the top. We do have branded again. This guy's got his grill start mat and everything right at the very top here, doing a pretty decent job of that. But I don't see like exactly all of the same tool. What would be a concern for me if I saw immediately, wow, these all look the same? What would the word be for that, guys? Those of you following along at home, starts with an S, rhymes with maturation. I'm giving you a hint. Right, saturation. It's not particularly saturated, which is cool. However, these prices aren't really getting me excited, right? We're at 23, 25, 12, 17. And what we're potentially going to find here is we take the tool and move this stupid zoom thing, and we get the tool to look for us. So at this point, we're at a macro view, guys. And the macro view right now is that we're taking a look at all the products here. We're not just going into an individual product and then looking at the widget. Okay, that's a micro view. What we're doing is we're taking a macro view of this area, and we're just going to quickly see what barbecue, tongs is really the opportunity here, right? Because we're down in this particular node. So what we need to immediately see, and the tool is kind of helping us along, is, profit here and gross profit are pretty red. A lot of red. That should immediately throw up a warning. That's the whole point. Yellow, obviously, is a warning. Red is like a runaway. Green is cool. All right. Green is good. So while we got some profit, you're saying over here, what you're not noticing, or maybe you didn't pay attention to, was, well, that unit price right there per unit is where you're going to suffer greatly. Right there. Right at $39,000 at $372, this person is moving a lot of inventory, but they're hardly making any money on it, right? And you're saying, well, $9,500, Neil, in gross profit, that's pretty good. Yeah, but what you haven't considered is the costs. You haven't even paid for the taxes. You haven't paid for any other ancillary expenses. You've moved $38,000, which, where all the people would say, go, hey, this is a $38,449 product. Who would love to do that? Yes, this is so great. This is why you want to sell on Amazon. No, that's not going to be profitable, guys. This is going to take a loss. So if you don't remember this, and those of you who are new don't know this, but I have a gentleman who came to me last month who is running a barbecue grilling niche set of products, who just happened to be doing about $3 million a year. And he's running a bunch of these products. I don't even know what his brand is. It's not important. But at the end of the day, when we finally got down to the bottom and what's the real problems, why are we talking? Turns out he's running a net loss. He's running a net loss on $3 million a year. And I'll tell you why. Because someone told him that he needed to be selling products in this market because it's making $38,000 or so a month. And that's where he got locked into. He got locked into estimated revenue and sales. All the other tools focus on this, but none of the other tools or trainings help you focus on the actual profit. That's all that matters. I really don't care about any of this gross estimated revenue. What I care about is profit. Profit drives the business, and more profit in per unit means I can dominate the rest of this competition. And right now, there's no way I'm going to be able to get profit in a product inside of this niche that will ever do me any good. I'm below $5 on almost all of these products. I've got $680 and $730. How much do you think it costs to acquire a customer in a niche of this size? I happen to know it costs between $5 and $7 to acquire a customer. What do you think is going to happen to that product? Right, it was already in the red because the profitability of it and based on the cost of goods. So those of you may be asking, Neil, where am I getting these calculations from? Why is it yellow? Why is it red? Why is it green? So we do a basis of 35% cost of goods. You can see it right here, 35% cost of goods. We know after selling for 8 years, if you have a product that's higher than 35% cost of goods, okay, that you're going to be in the unprofitable range. You're not going to be in a competition, and you're not going to be able to grow and scale that product. If you're at 35% or less, you're going to have an opportunity to use Amazon's marketing, sponsored ad platforms, acquire customers, and scale the business. It really comes down to a couple of these metrics. With your net payout at $15.20 after your cost of goods, you're taking $6.80. If it costs you $5 or more to acquire a customer, guess how much you're making? Well, if it costs you $6 at an easy math, you just made 80 cents per unit. Good for you. Go home, retire, put your feet up. It's time to buy that yacht. Right? Wrong. It's not time to buy that yacht. It's time to rethink your life. Go home and rethink your life. All right, so we want products with profitability. And this right now at a macro view is telling us that is not a product macro view we want to go into. Even if we go down to the micro level of some of these products and we say, but Neil, but I can sell this, it's profitable. If I can just get my cost of goods up to like, $10, I could make this work. Well, remember, you're going to figure this out, but I'm giving you a head start. It's going to cost you between $5 and $7 to acquire a customer. And because of that metric, even at $10, you're going to be fighting over pennies, not dollars, in order to compete in this marketplace. And you still got to get your rank up. All right. Now, for those of you who also are questioning, and sometimes you do when they come to the call, for those of you who have been around, you know this already, we are pulling data from the node, we're pulling BSR from the node, and we're basing our data off of that because that is ultimately where you need to play in the market to scale and scale large. If you haven't seen any of my case studies or my client case studies, I encourage you to go check them out. They're on YouTube and there are other places. How we get businesses to 6 and 7 and 8 figures. Okay, and how we can do businesses between $1 million and $5 million a month is because we focus on the right areas of Amazon. Okay, I don't care what gross revenues are. I don't care what the other tools say about estimated gross revenues and whether or not it has 100,000 a month and blah blah blah. I really don't care. It makes no difference to me. You go after that, and then we'll compete in the same marketplace, and then I'm going to own you. And then you're going to cry because Amazon doesn't work. And that's the same circular reference we go over and over and over again. All right, so let's keep going. We're going to go down another one. I got to see some other fun ones here to play with. Let's go camping games. That was cool. Camping games, that's going to be a little more relevant to right now. Why is that a little bit more relevant to right now? Because you're at home. And what do you do when you're at home? You play camping. What did we do tonight? It's my daughter's was 6. Now she's 7 as of today, my youngest daughter. And they wanted to play outside. And we put a tent up on the back deck, and they played in a tent. It was beautiful and sunny and 75 degrees, and they had a lot of fun until we had to take it down because a rainstorm came in. But we went camping on the deck today because that was a fun thing for them to do. We played camping stuff, okay? It was camping supplies in the middle of all of this nonsense. But if you stop and think about it, that actually makes a lot of sense, folks. It actually makes a lot of sense. So these are great niches to get into. Camping can be done all year round for different parts of the country. It may shift locations, but it's not necessarily all gone all year. It's not always seasonal, and there's certain products within the camping niche that can be made into evergreen. There are certain products in that niche that are seasonal. You just have to figure out which ones are which. Seasonal's fine. You need to move beyond seasonal, though, if you're really going to scale the business, because seasonal goes up and down, has too many variables. Logistically, it's hard to keep up with. Evergreen products and evergreen base of consistent sales are ultimately what's going to scale your business, make you money, make sure you make money every month, every year, and be able to repeat it and scale it. All right. So it's just little tips to make sure you're playing along at home. All right. So we're looking for camping games. Camping games are kind of generic. So let's say there's kids, outdoors, adults, family, toddlers. Okay. You can dive into any one of these and start pulling down. This is very specific. Like this is boys, right? This is families, a little bit higher. These are toddlers, going to be, I can tell you just at the price point, we're not going to be doing so great there. Camping games for adults, probably going to be a little bit higher in price point, just using some logic and knowledge here from our everyday experience. Families and outdoors typically might be a little bit bigger, or outdoors for adults are going to be a little bit bigger, a little bit higher affinity. potentially a higher market price point, which means more profitability. Okay. If we're going down into the toys and stuff like that, you're not necessarily going to get products that are more than $25 in retail. And so if we're shooting for products that have more than $25 or $35 in retail, we're typically going to start hitting the price points where the profit margins will stay above $10 in net profit per unit, which is the minimum, absolute bare minimum that we coach everybody to stay above. If you get below $10 after cost of goods and your loaded price, you are then going to be losing a lot of money after advertising, and you simply can't scale. If you're above 10 and you're up near 20 or higher, you now have the ability to play the marketing game on Amazon, and that's where you will ultimately win on scale. Okay, guys? Very big tips for those who are paying attention, okay? So camping games for adults outdoors, we're looking at certain select products. All right, we're playing around in sports and fitness. We see a tossing games. We see 30, 29, 39, 59. That's what I always do first. I look at the price just to kind of see a price average. I'm going to look next just to see, are products making sales high enough for me in my, I'm looking above $50, $60, $100. Yeah, and there's some of them that are starting to price a little higher. We got 69, 64. Okay, just looking to see if there's enough products on page one that are above 50, 60. There's one for 119. Okay, now we're starting to play in a little bit more interesting market than barbecue grilling tools. Okay, there's going to be options for more profitability. We also look and we see there's one advertiser up here and there's one right here. Well, I could take this spot over pretty fast and maybe even this one. So from a marketing competition perspective, right out of the gate, I'm kind of liking this, right? I'm liking it because there's only one sponsored ad. It'd be really easy for me. Okay, guys, and I'm about to break down a course I saw the other day for $997. It taught you how to rank for page one on Amazon. Are you ready? I'm going to give you the answer in about 5 seconds. And then if you were to go do it, it'd take you less than 15 minutes to rank to page one. You ready for it? Here it goes. Buy your way to the top. Sponsored product number 2 could be you setting right here on page 1 for camping, games for adults outdoors. Takes you all of about a minute to set that up, 15 minutes for it to propagate the system, and then you're setting in the number 2 spot, ahead of the bestseller on the page for organic, where we know that 80% of the traffic comes above the second part of the fold, and you now just ranked. Ta-da! I'm really sorry for anybody who paid $997 to learn how to rank on Amazon, because that's it. But Neil, it's paid traffic and you don't understand. I don't want to do paid traffic. Well, then you don't want to play on Amazon for scale, because this is the truth. For scale on Amazon, to acquire customers inside of Amazon through sponsored brands and sponsored ads is how you win in the game. It's how you get to the top, stay at the top, how you drag your organic listings up to the top so they come up too, and how you dominate a niche and move on to another one very quickly while scaling to 6, 7, 8 figures. Everybody at home, understand what I'm saying to you. So we got to be very clear about the opportunity you've got in front of you. It isn't pinching pennies and stepping over dollars. All right. We're looking for the opportunity to dominate a market, go fast, get to the top, have the profitability, stay there, even get up to the top with a $2,129. I don't even care. Right. What I care about is, can I take this top spot? This guy's got 26. I could set right here and own that. That's important to understand. So then we look at, okay, what's the second metric I'm considering? I'm considering saturation versus competition. Can I play in this niche? Can I play in it at the price point that I want to play at it? Okay. And so far the answer is looking yes. Why? Differentiation. Different. I'm not seeing a considerable amount of products that are the same, but I am seeing a pattern of certain kinds of products. Does anybody see it just yet? There's a pattern of products for adults in this market. Some of you whoever asked this question about this product may already know this. Does anybody see the pattern? Out of the 8 products, I see a pattern developing just on the first half. Can anybody guess what it is? Throwing games and cornholes. Yes, good. So you're starting to see your white cars, guys. You're starting to see your white cars. It's very important, because it throws itself at you when you finally see it, right? Starting to see consistency and pattern of these kinds of products. Now I'm going to look next. The third thing is, okay, Go Sports, Triumph, Himmel, never heard of these. Go Sports is back here again at the bestseller side. We got another kind of toss-in sort of game right here with Go Sports. Starting to see that Go Sports is owning some business. These people are paying second tier right here, which is why they got their sponsored ads down here, not at the top, which means if they were to boost and actually have enough profit in their product, they could go to the top. But as you can see, this person's not going to be able to pull that off. This person could pull it off if they wanted to. That person can't pull it off. There's no reason why an aggressive bidder right now couldn't be at the top end of this search. 59, we got another sponsored hanging out over here. There's a couple more of these over here in the bestseller categories. But you're saying, Neil, they got reviews. They're ahead of me. They got more opportunity in the market. They're a bestseller. No. Guess what, guys? Do I care? Do you hear me caring about this? Do you hear me caring about it at all? No, I do not care. What I care is there a differentiator and a point of difference that I can create in one of these products? And right now, the point of difference I'm looking at is there a better tossing game or even a potential affinity for a tossing game? Look at this bad boy, $124 at 250. This son of a gun should be setting right at the very top of the search. But they are a coward. I'm going to call it what it is. They're being coward. They're not wanting to go. They're being coward. They're not want to go up there and get this game. They want to get up there and play seriously. I would love to find out who that is. All right, so now let's go to the macro view. We've kind of did some quick assessments. You guys saw the 3 different things I was kind of looking for. Are you all up to speed with me so far? The 3 things that initially caught my attention that I'm looking at for analyzing this market. You heard me speak it out to you, right? Everybody so far up to speed? Give me a 2 if you're with me still and you understand some of the metrics I just gave you to look at, some of the white car scenario, okay, that we just went through here together, visually analyzing this brand, okay? Am I going to take one of these and find it at Walmart and try to sell it retail? Am I going to go try to arbitrage this from some other online site? Anybody got any ideas about that? Yes or no? No. There should be a lot of no's coming in. Why? Because by the time I try to validate this product from that angle, I have wasted my time. I've wasted my efforts. The price is not going to be justified. I can't win the buy box to save the day for some of these products, even if there are products that I can buy box in, which I could this one if I wanted to. This one I could too, and this one over here is not the same, but I could on that, and I can on this one. I'm not going to win the buy box. I'm going to get the product in the market long before it does, and that whatever potential profit I may have had is going to be gone, and I'm going to turn around and be like, that was a wasted time and energy and effort. So we're going to spend better time, energy, and effort and money, okay, not wasting our time screwing around with that stuff. We're going to go in here and take a look. So we're going to go back to ASIN Inspector. We're going to let it pull up this macro view. Now, one thing I see right out of the gate, and you should have saw it too, there's a lot more green than red on this search, is there not? Now, we see some of these guys up here right now not really making it. This chair, for example, this guy, he's pulling in $2. He's about $5,000 in sales on $519. He's losing money on that product. Okay, they're losing money. Anything in green inside the tool is a sponsored ad. So if you wondered why this is green, these are sponsored ads. That's why they're green. We are looking at this guy, $10. Okay, great. 16, 12, 29. Now we're starting to talk my language. 29. All right, 46. You notice I'm not even really care. I just looked to see if the product was there. I didn't really care at first if that product was a differentiator in the market. 124, that one caught my attention earlier. 29. Okay, we're starting to play. We're starting to play in the games. That actually looks like fun. Ultimate Giant Thumb Black. 51. Look at that. It's 169,000. It's got 51, but it's got 4 sellers. So right now, as I pulled this data in real time, I am seeing the current winner of the buy box at the time that I pull this in. It's important you understand that, because if I were to refresh this again, it's very possible that someone else would be winning the buy box for this product or this one, right? If it's got a 1, it's 1 seller. If it's got more, all right, then it's obviously more sellers. 6 up here. Every time I pull this data, okay, it's going to come out in near real time, which means that I may get a different set of data if I pull this again. If you went and pulled this right now, you might get a different set of data because it's dynamic as it's pulling it. As we're databasing it, all right, which is important because we operate in near real time. We don't operate on old data. So we are looking at 18, 23. We're going to discount those guys. Do we want to play in this market because there are people in here like this? Well, Neil, they got 17 sellers. Why would it? Man, that seems really bad, dude. I don't think I want to go in that market. Plus, it's a flickin' chicken game. That's hilarious. A flickin' chicken game. But he's got $4 in profit. Ouch. I couldn't negotiate my way. Even if I doubled my negotiation power with the manufacturer, I still wouldn't compete well with that product. But yeah, that's a nasty one. But Neil, it makes over $30,000 and everybody says that's great money on Amazon. Nope, don't care. All right, so what I'm looking for is that product. Okay, so I'm coming down here, and what we're going to do is we're going to use the filter feature, and we're going to come up here to the gross profit. We're going to say greater than 25, just out of curiosity. We're going to hit enter, and bam. All right, some products all of a sudden appear. 7 out of 59 suddenly have some interest. Don't necessarily care if they're ranking that high. I'd love them to be a little bit closer to 100,000 or below. So this one kind of gets my attention because it's below 100,000, below 100,000. Below 10 is not necessarily an opportunity to move in that market, because if I'm already at that sub 10,000 BSR rank and I'm got a 4.9, this isn't a highly interested product for people. Like, it's there, it's selling, but it's not highly interested. It's okay. It could make a little bit of money. If you were to start with a product like this and get it to a position in the market similar to this one, you could be taking home $2,642 every month. That's not bad. That's nothing to shake a stick at. But again, two scenarios we're talking about here, and one of them is, is that a bad product? Why would I want to get a product that only has $2,642 a month in profit, Neil, at $29.69 per unit? Well, guys, that's good money. That's one product out of your 5x5 matrix. Okay, 5 products making an average of 5 sales a day, which equates to about 25 sales a day. If those 25 sales on your average net profit, your profit take home, okay, every month is above $10, you're going to be making $250 a day. That's pretty good, right? That gives us our 5x5 matrix as our basis of understanding. That is how you get to $100,000 a year in profit, not gross revenues, profit, money in my pocket, okay, a little under $10,000 a month. And we do it by stacking up these little winning products. If I were to stack 5 of those together, what would I have? I'd have over $10,000 in take home every month. I would have spent roughly about that much, maybe a little bit more, to get that product in the market, especially just to test it before it even went out to market. And I could easily recoup that within 30 to 60 days, okay? And I would actually have an asset that continues to deliver that every month, because I'm not in a super complicated niche. I'm not in a super volatile market, and I can expect that will only go up during certain season and will stay an average when it's off season. So that's not a bad little product, right? Here's one for $2,600. Here's one for $1,247. So if we take our profit down, let's just back down a little bit. Let's go back down to the 10. We're going to see that opens up 26 of them, okay? 26 of them making more than $10. We got, what, 20,000 in profit here, but that's not really of interest to me. I'm looking for the ones where I could actually dominate, right? I'm looking for the ones where I could come in, okay, and I could potentially take a product that is decent, making some okay money, has great profit margins for sourcing, and isn't ranking very well. Kind of like this one. Why does this one interest me? We just went through this whole scenario, and I'm going to toss it back to you guys. So I need your answer, but I want it justified. Why would this one potentially interest me? Why has it caught my attention above the other ones? And you may be saying, well, it's only a 51,000 BSR, Neil, and it makes $1,100 a month, but you just liked the other one that said 2,600. You're confusing me. Well, not if you're paying attention. I shouldn't be confusing you. Why does this have interest to anybody else? What is it about this that just caught my attention? Why didn't this one down here catch my attention a little bit more at 29, right? We just talked about this one. Why didn't that one kind of catch my attention? What about this one down here? Why isn't this catching my attention? Higher profit per unit with a margin of opportunity in sports and category. What's the margin of opportunity? That's at 51,000 in BSR, 46, almost 47 in profit before I even do my sourcing and negotiation on my back office, which I know I can do better. Let's just say that I could do that. Okay, I just went out to a regular supplier somewhere and I got it for $46.69 just to get what this guy got, right? Let's say I could do better than 35% cost of goods. What if I could do 30% cost of goods, or maybe even 28? Okay, because more than likely I can cut 5 to 7% off of anything out in the market with good negotiations through my supply chain. So let's say hypothetically I could get that up to 46 to 50. That's pretty good. Why? Because I could actually spend $20 to $25 of that acquiring all the other people's customers. And then guess what's going to happen with the bucket ball that no one's ever heard of? And we got yard games. And why couldn't I be bucket balls? Why couldn't I be the Bucketeer as a brand? Yeah, the Bucketeer. That's kind of a cool name, the Bucketeer. Why couldn't I be the Bucketeer? Or the Blitz Bucket. This is the one we were looking at, right? This one up here, the bucket ball. Why couldn't I have a different brand? Because I actually could. Because in this moment, when we look down the line, this is my next closest price competitor. Here is the next closest price competitor, but they're way over, right? So this means basically no one's really interested in this product. While it's got a good profitability, it's not really in high demand, clearly. So at 194,000, I'm not interested. I'm at 100,000 or below. I'm really crushing over here on this little opportunity, because I could come in for a completely different brand. I could spend at $50. I could spend up to $25 to acquire that customer, and I would absolutely dominate this market. I'd come right in, I'd take over the front of that page, and I would start sucking up all the customers. And every time that I got one customer that cost me $25, guess what's going to happen? You guys should know this by now. If you don't know this and you're brand new, I'll explain it to you. But as it works with inside of Amazon, after doing this for so long with so many products in so many ways, once you get in and do your sponsored ads, if you can convert one customer with a paid traffic ad profitably, then you will get an organic sale almost 99.9% of the time. So if I spend $25 of $50 in this scenario to acquire that customer, then I just got another customer organically for free at $50 in profit. That's a pretty darn good win. Wouldn't you want to scale a campaign like that? Give me a yes if that made sense to you guys. Does that make sense to you? Because before we were talking about trying to acquire a customer for $5 to $7, pinching pennies, yelling about how the cost of goods was wrong, how the ACOS was too high, how Amazon doesn't work, and blah, 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 blah. All that other BS you constantly hear. Why? Because the people who are telling you how to do all that are wrong. They're not doing it in the system at all. And you know what? More power to us, because what you guys are learning right now for free tonight, and we go even farther into depth at ASIN 360 to show you some even cooler strategies and tactics we employ on the deeper tactical level. This is the strategy. Now, there's a lot of tactical things we've done and learned how to do over 8 years, but this is the strategy I want you to kind of understand. Once we get into position with these kinds of products, we own it. We'll own that market. We'll own this niche. And guess what? It turns into a great little asset that no one can touch us. No one can touch us. No one can touch you either. So even if you got this product down to 40,000 BSR, let's say hypothetically, and you're pulling back what would become double the price on this. So you're pulling about $2,500 to $3,000 a month out of this single product. That's just one product, guys. Go get 4 more of those. And at a price point around this per unit, look, you're only moving 25 units a month to do that. That's it. You don't have to move 2,000 units. You don't have to buy 2,499 units to move, right? All you could do is double this to 50 units. That's insane. You could do 50 units on a product like this. That's crazy. So whoever brought this to market just a minute ago, go check this out, because there's some opportunity setting in this. And this is just camping games for adults outdoor. We haven't even broken into the micro niche. We're still at the macro level evaluating this, right? So this gets me a little bit excited, right? You guys should be a little bit excited about this too. So we can look at some of these other products up here and do similar types of analysis. Now we can see this one has $16, but man, when you're moving 31,532 units, wouldn't you be wanting to do a whole lot more than 8,600? I mean, at 532 units, right? What would this thing be doing at 532 units? That's crazy, right? That would be absolutely crazy. Now, what I want you to understand with the 5x5 and why we're talking about this and why you need to understand this is this gets you in the market without breaking the bank. This gets you to the position of getting samples and going in the market without taking from your 401k or borrowing from your family or whatever you need to keep your TP flowing in your house, right? While we're dealing with the checkmate outbreak that's happening now. But you could get any one of these things moving and continue to bring them up and stack them on top of each other as you can move them out. So what's the cost to launch of a particular product? It's going to be a variable of product, and that's where, how long is a piece of string is going to be very difficult. The answer is, well, wherever you cut the string. So people come to us, or we hear these calls at times, and people ask questions, and they say, okay, well, how much is it going to cost me to launch, Neil? I need to know the exact figure down to the penny. And it's like, I can't tell you that. I cannot tell you that. Like at this moment, we're analyzing this product, and it could cost you $2,000 to $3,000 or $4,000 to get this product in the market. I don't know. It could cost you $7,000. It may only cost you $1,500. So what we don't know is what we don't know at this moment. And part of that is doing your diligence. And doing your diligence is going to require you to go into the stores and look for some particular products. Alibaba is a great place. AliExpress could be looked at really quick because we might want to get a small MOQ and test this out. We want to test it out, but we want to test it out with product we own, which is where Alibaba and AliExpress come into play, because you want to get a low minimum order quantity, or what's called an MOQ. And you want to be able to get maybe 5 or 10 units of this to test it out. Why? Because it only sells 25 a month. You don't need to get 50 or 100 or 1,000 units, right? You only need to get 5 or 10 of these. You need to get it in the market. You need to get started. You need to find out, does it really sell? which particular version of this is the variable that sells. Well, here's a red one. In case you weren't paying attention a little bit ago, there's even green ones, right? And they got pink ones and yellow ones. But guess what? The one that has the most opportunity is the red one. So what would we do? We'd follow the leader, right? We don't have to reinvent anything. I'm not trying to reinvent anything. I'm just trying to show you opportunity. So guys, that's product research in a nutshell. And wow, we just did that all in like 55 minutes. It took me longer to explain than it would take you to go do the product research that we just showed you within the tool and then go do your diligence on the manufacturing side, which is where the next step would come in. So it's really important for you to understand red, green, and yellow. It's important for you to understand the market, the analysis. At this point, you can go a little deeper into the micro niche side of the house and start looking around, right? Just because these guys are setting up here doesn't necessarily mean they're the sexiest, best product. They may be up there losing money on these products, okay? And just keep pushing these products along because they need them, not because they necessarily are doing really great with them. So don't mistake products in the market or opportunities for the justification of the product based on the owner who has it in the market. The owner may have another strategy. They may be okay with a loss leader on this one because they know that if somebody goes in and buys additional parts of this product, for other products that they're selling, they may get more sales from a different product, and they're okay with losing money on one of these. I don't know anybody that's in our business that is okay losing money, but you'd be very surprised with what happens on Amazon and people who sell and don't actually know how to sell very well. They've gotten products in here. They took the beginner's course. They got it selling. They think they're being successful, but ultimately they're never going to go any farther, and they can't buy more product, and they run into the same problems you hear with so many people. And it literally gets down to this right here. They're not making enough money to grow and scale their business, and I do not want that for you guys. That's something that's very important, okay? So how do you justify, someone's asking a question, Walmart is $50, so how to justify 2X on Amazon? Great question. Brand affinity. And second part of that component is opportunity and trusted authority. It is known that Amazon can be delivered quickly. In some places, it can be delivered in an hour or in the same day. In other places, it's 2 days. Right now, that's not really the standard, but that will come back here very soon. And it has to do with how quickly I think I want this product, and it's a little bit of impulse buying. Online purchasing has a higher affinity with Amazon than it does Walmart. The Walmart is known as a low-cost leader. So Walmart is moving that product to get you in the store. Amazon's moving that product to get you to buy their services. So the prices are higher. And when you drive that brand affinity and you put a good quality product out there, people will pay the additional product. Just the same way why you would argue, well, why would somebody buy, a Lexus over an Acura? Why would somebody buy the Honda Accord versus the Lexus ES? Why would somebody buy the Toyota Camry versus you see where I'm going with this? So it has to not just do with price point. Price point is only a variable we determine in the market because we've been told that's the only thing we should focus on. And it's not. Why? Because my products increase in our accounts every year. They go up organically, an average of 64% across our brands. We increase our prices. We do not decrease them. We don't do giveaways. We don't do fake scarcities. We don't do coupons. We don't have to. We're driving everything on brand. Very important to understand the differences. It's not just a methodology, it's a psychology. It's having to do with understanding there's abundance. That scarcity says price and determination and giveaway and promotions are the only way to move more units. Abundance, it says there's plenty of other kind of products in the market that are still selling the way mine are selling. I can get other people to buy my product. Why not? Because I'm going to build a better product. It's going to have a better point of difference than the other ones. I mean, you can see the point of difference. Like here, for example, this is cool. It's got an American theme, right? It's got that patriotic thing going on. I don't care what you say. It's about America. It's $64.99. This one's $39. It's got some wood. It's really cool. This one over here got a slightly different kind of mesh approach to it versus the wood American thing over here, but they're charging $39, okay? These guys are at $39, and they're kind of competing more with this guy over here. In fact, I should be annotating this. They're competing with this guy over here, but guess what they're not competing with? They're not really competing with this guy. They are not really competing with that guy. They're competing with each other. So which one do you guys want to be? Number 1, number 2, or number 3? You want to be number 1, right? But they're literally the same game. That's the whole point of that. If you paid attention to that, they're the same game, right? But guess who's making more money? Pretty cool stuff, right? So hopefully you guys are kind of seeing, we did some analysis. I'm sorry we didn't get through all the other products that you guys brought up because this is cool. We went deep into this and hopefully you understand where we're going. Why product research is done very differently in the mindset and the analytics component. Why the tool itself is set up to be very different in terms of the way we analyze the product at the node level. Why we don't analyze it at the department or the category level, because that's where everyone else is at. And that's where you will find a race to the bottom with all products that are not very profitable at all. When you get into the node level and you get down into this niche, as it's referred to in the marketing world, in Amazon, it's referred to the node inside of this great big system of electronics here. All right, this filing system, otherwise known as a taxonomy in the database world and in the search engine world. I have a background in knowledge management. I used to run those systems for IBMs on the global scale and used to do this for very, very, very large corporations. And knowledge management in bringing information, tacit and implicit, to the search engines, as well as working with human interaction and machine language learning was part of what I did. So this is fascinating to me, the way they do this engine. But at the end of the day, once you break it down, it's the same thing. It's been working since 2012 with the engine. Only the people have changed, the products have changed, and time has changed. But the engine itself is still doing the same thing. And so everybody who's following along at the very top end of these systems is the ones making the mistakes. If you simply bought the tool because you wanted the estimated revenue amount of units, you are going to lose in the game of Amazon. I'm going to tell you that right now. In all fairness and honesty, you got to be playing at the node and the niche level. And at that level, products can run for years profitably, and they can grow profitably, and you can stack them on top of each other profitably, and you can win at the game of Amazon. Woo! That's a lot of information in 1 hour, isn't it? We have so much fun with this. So guys, give me a Yahoo if you've been with me the entire hour. If you've focused and had some fun with this, give me a Yahoo in the channel, because we're going to come to an end as it is tonight. And I want to give you all a special invite to join me at ASIN360.com. As always, if you are ready to move, go faster, quicker, and easier, and scale your business, go to ASIN360.com, book an appointment. It's time, guys. It is time to get ahead of what's coming. This is the most difficult thing people are trying to decide right now, is what to do with the rest of my time, what to do with the market economy we've got in front of us, what to do with the next step. And let me tell you right now, those who are actually moving in the market for the opportunities, buying necessarily on the short or getting into position with their businesses right now, when this market goes back up, which it absolutely will, and when this business turns around in the world economy we're dealing with right now, you're going to be poised to do great things. And I would love to work with great people. So ASIN360.com, if you're ready to go faster and bigger, you want more automation, you want to learn all the tactical and strategic things we do to scale businesses to big 8 figures or more. I just had a case study live a week ago. It's a video. It's out there. Go check it out. Matt came on and did it. It was fantastic. Matt and I got him to $2 million a month. And then after 6 months, he was doing $5 million a month. That business went to $40 million in the first year. It took off and went to $60 million. He's running the same products over the last 5 years. He sold it to his partner and went and started another one. And that one's doing $29 million a year. And that's a great case study for you guys to go check out on what's really possible when you think big, hairy, audacious goals. So just think, okay, maybe I'm not a Matt. Okay, not everybody can be a Matt. But what if I just want to be an Ed, a Michael, a Talar, an Ida? What if I just want to be that person? You know what? Making 10, 20, or 30,000 take home a month on Amazon with the strategies we just outlined today. You know, obviously we got tactical things that need to be done in the system to make a lot of that work, but it's just a strategic level. It's not impossible to do it, folks. It's really not impossible. Okay. So hopefully you got some good stuff out of this. I don't want to sell this product, guys. This is $10.32. I was just checking it out. But this product has got my attention here for a second. What's going to catch my attention is the $56 and $49 product, and go see what those are about. And you guys should be checking those out too. And so now you should start seeing some of the metrics and things you should be looking at as you go forward. This is Thursday Night Live with Neil Twa from ASINinspector.com and ASIN360.com, guys. I'm going to cut it off for the night, and I'm going to send you on your way. Have a great rest of the week. And remember, there's another 7 days to go do something. All right, so get out there. Get something done, sell something, get in the market, have some fun, and I will catch you guys next week with some more product research. You've been a great crew. Thanks for the evening, and I'll talk with you all next week. Take care.